All right, so what are we looking at here? So Trump tweets out today, in Germany, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and many other countries, schools are open with no problems. The Dems think it would be bad for them politically if U.S. schools open before the November election, but it is important for the children and families. May cut off funding if not open. So he's a couple things going on here. He's threatening to cut funding to school districts if they don't open. So Trump is very afraid that this economy cannot get going. And as we know, when you're running for a presidential election, one of the biggest things that actually sways votes is how the economy is doing. So it really doesn't look good for Trump if the economy does bad, which is, of course, it's doing terribly, but he wants to pump it. He wants to get it up and going so that the economy is recovering, and he can talk all about this great recovery going into the election. So what he wants to do is cut funding to schools, because when the schools are closed, it causes a lot of problems. It keeps some people from being able to go work their jobs, right? Causes a number of issues in regards to getting that economy going again. Okay, so he's talking about cutting funding. So one thing we need to remember, by the government's own admission, 90% of school funding comes from state and local governments. So, it's not like Trump has that much sway over the money that's going to schools anyways. And one thing to note is that if he did cut that funding, it would way disproportionately affect schools in poor neighborhoods. It also should be noted that Trump just can't cut that money. That budget was approved by Congress and the president. He can't just change it on his own. So if he wanted to cut that funding, he would have to go through Congress. So not only is he making really dumb threats, he can't do it anyway. So once again, it seems like he doesn't quite understand the small share of money that he actually has control over going to the schools. And then he doesn't even understand that he can't just do whatever he wants with that. He can't just not send it out. And how many times have we seen this? Right? I mean, we knew about this before he got elected, that there were reports that he wouldn't actually pay his contractors, so he would save a lot of money that way, have someone do a bunch of work and then just say, I'm not going to pay you, and if you want to sue me for it, we'll tie you up in court for years and you'll spend just as much on lawyers, right? That's we heard those reports before he got elected, and now he's trying to use this against other people. The money that we, the taxpayers, are sending out, right? It was used in Ukraine as leverage. There's reports that it was used other places as leverage. And here he is right here using leverage, thinking he's a real estate mogul, right? His role right now is as the president, but he thinks he gets to use that money the same way. He thinks it's his money. It's our money. All right. And you want to get everybody's kids back to school? Here's a question that people have been asking. Are Ivanka's kids going to go back to school? Is Trump's kid, Barron, going to go back to school? And I don't mean the rich schools where they'll just build a few extra wings and spread all the kids out and put them all in their own separate HVAC system. I'm talking about a real school. Take your kids, send them to a public school, right? Send them into downtown New York in the public school with all the other kids, where there's 40 of them in a classroom. Do that, President, and then maybe we'll know you're serious, that it's safe for the rest of us to do it as well. Unless perhaps you don't view us as being the same as you are, Mr. President. Maybe you see yourself in some kind of different class. It's pretty obvious. And then we had National Education Association President Lily Eskelsen Garcia with this golden moment.
I double dog dare Donald Trump to sit in a class of 39 sixth graders and breathe that air without any preparation for how we're going to bring our kids back safely.
All right, so there we have it. National Education Association President Lily Eskelsen Garcia calling him out. Donald Trump, I double dog dare you to sit in a class with 39 sixth graders breathing that air with no safety precautions. Just send everybody back. That's right. He's obviously never going to do that, right? Because he knows when the kids go back to school, it's not his kids on the line. They want to mine us like a resource. They want us all back at work, so we're producing for them, and they can mine us. And if some of us get lost along the way, that's just the cost of doing business, right? And then we get a little bit of gold with Cuomo's reaction as well.
I heard the president speak yesterday, and what he was tweeting about today on schools. And look, this is getting a little old as far as I'm concerned. And I heard what the president said on schools, but this has been there, done that, right? School reopenings are a state decision, period.
All right, so you gotta love the little bit of snark in there where they actually have the clip that says "been there, done that." Awesome, awesome. Because isn't that how we all feel? We've all been there, done that. We've heard, how many times have we heard this? Okay, but that's what's important. We got the governor, one of the biggest states in the country, stepping up and like putting that message out there. I mean, we all kind of knew it, but it's good to just have that message sent out. No, the states decide when to open and close the schools, right? I mean, it wasn't, a few years before Donald Trump was elected, he would spout about states' rights this, states' rights that, when he didn't like what Obama was doing. But now when he's in there, he's treating it like he just gets to decide everything for the states. Right? He wants to be that dictator. Okay, so here's the thing. Trump can make threats. He can threaten to withhold the funding. The truth is most of the funding for schools, state and local, it's going to be okay. So hopefully you have governors that are going to handle things the correct way. We'll get people back to school hopefully when it's safe, right? Hopefully the schools are going to make the smart decisions, listen to the scientists, not to a president who's in desperate need of the economy getting turned around, but to actual scientists who know what they're talking about, telling us how to keep kids safe. So you have to think about the students, the teachers, the staff that work at these schools. Everybody's involved. We got to make sure everybody can do their job in a safe way, right? Not just send them all back and we'll lose 1% of people. That's fine, right? We can't operate like that. All right, so thanks for checking out the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can catch all the new content as it becomes available, and we'll see